English, English, English. English also, no? English, 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 English. Okay. We will bow to the majority. So I wanted to present to you today this extraordinary project called Trully Park. It is a community which exists in Peru, which was made in an oasis. You know, the Peruvian coast all the way from Lima down to the middle of Chile is pure desert. It's like the Sahara, one of the biggest deserts you can imagine. Behind, the Andes are going up, snow peaks, and from the snow peaks, some rivulets are coming down, going through the desert and creating within the desert little strips of cultivation land, which have microclimates. That's where the Incas used to grow their food. But otherwise, it is desert. So in one of those deserts, not far away from Lima, Peru, Lord Krishna wanted to make a temple. So he gave us a land of 3 hectares of land, which was acquired from a very old man, over 90 years old, who had been in that place for many years, but he didn't have any papers. So he told us, you take care of me until I die and give me some money and I will sign my rights of having taken care of this for 60 years over to you. So that was done. And finally, also this gentleman, he left the world after eating a large amount of prasadam because he stayed with the devotees, the one who sold you the sold us the land. He stayed with us. so we bought it with the owner. Same thing happened to me in Mayapur when I purchased a land in Mayapur on the bank of the Ganges. The lady who sold it to me, she was, her name was Sati, and she was a little sad. Her daughters were all out of the house. She was alone. So in the end, she said, well, I sold it to you, but now I want to be a devotee in your community. So she also stayed with us until the end of her life. So that's, I found it very curious and beautiful. Anyhow, so the Trully Park is a very amazing place. It is on the Pacific Ocean, direct straight line to India, to Jagannath Puri waterway. It has a big Hanuman temple here. There's a big Hanuman temple on the other side in Puri. We have a Jagannath temple. We have a Jagannath temple in India. It is all the corresponding over the Pacific. And here we have a big Nishingadev cave. That cave is much bigger than this entire room. It fits more than 200 people. And on one side, the waves are clashing in. You can see the sun and the waves, and you have a big, big temple cave. And in the end is Lord Nishingadev. So tomorrow we're going to have a Nishingadev appearance in Berlin also. Very special in Lichtenberg. We will have a Nishinga appearance. So that is also very, very, very beautiful. So Lord Krishna wants to go to many places in the world. It's better to close the window, then I can speak more easy without the noise and no mic. Yes. So you can see here This place is actually situated on the coast. There is huge waves all the time, like 2 meter, 3 meter waves. And it's clashing on the cliffs. That's when they created this cave. The cave is on one side. And there's so many exciting places here. We also constructed there on top of the mountain, overseeing all the area, the Temple of the Unity of All Spiritual Paths, showing that actually the slogan of this temple is, whoever searches for the truth without creating harm and trouble for others, he must be on the right path. So it is a universal love document or monument, and it was inaugurated with shamans and Christians and Muslims, and everybody who was there was invited, and we inaugurated this beautiful temple up there in the mountains. You have to see it to believe it. There's actually no photo here of that, because this book was published before this temple was inaugurated. The interesting thing in this community is it is entirely constructed in mud. That's what we call in India, kacha. It is simply made of mud. Mud from the earth and water and some fiber inside to keep the mud bricks solid. And because in this place it doesn't rain, I told you it's the desert. So already we are there for 30 years in our mud houses. If you make a mud house here in Germany, it will not even last 6 months. And the rain will just devastate it. There it is. So this is a phenomena of this Pacific coast. Actually, we made another one of these similar structures on the, we made that in Arica, which is the north of Chile, and which is also same oasis type of situation there. So, what is the peculiarity of the Yoga Planetarium? The Yoga Planetarium represents all the levels of consciousness, because the levels of consciousness, we have many different levels of consciousness. Awake, half asleep, deep sleep, and turiya, state of consciousness, enlightened state. So the stages of consciousness, they are all developed by our spiritual process. Like when we talk about consciousness, we can practically talk about so much, so many things, so many different aspects can be mentioned when we talk about consciousness. Practically, you can say that consciousness is our real being. It is also called the chitta. So when the soul is in its natural, original, realized consciousness, then it is becoming Vishuddha Sattva conscience. Otherwise, it has other types of consciousness, lower degrees of consciousness, which are under the influence of the 3 modes of material nature, which are Tamaguna, Rajaguna, and Sattvaguna. So they are keeping us tight in the material world. Actually, there is a story given in the Shastras that one man, he went through the forest. He was a businessman, he had some money, and all of a sudden 3 robbers came. And the 3 robbers stopped him and says, "Give us all your money." And then he said, "Well, okay, here's your money, here's my money." Then one of the robbers says, "Oh, now let us kill him, because otherwise he's going to go and tell others that we took his money away." Then the second robber, he said, no, it's not such a good idea to make our hands dirty with his blood. Let's not kill him. We can take him in the forest and just tie him to a tree, and then he will die there. So we haven't killed him personally. So that's what they did. They went in the forest, they tied him to a tree, and the three left. So then, a little later, one of the robbers came back and he untied him. He said, I didn't want you to die here. We took your money, that's enough. Now you find your way and you go back to your home. So the man, he was very grateful to the third robber, and he said to him, listen, you're such a nice guy. You practically saved my life here from starving, being tied to a tree. So why don't you come with me? I'll give you a job. I'll give you some decent existence in society. And then the thief said, I'm very sorry. I can release you, but I cannot go there where you are going because I am a robber. So who are the three robbers? The Tamaguna is the one who kills him immediately. The Rajaguna, he wants to just tie him and not get his hands dirty. Passion. And the Sattvaguna, he wants to release you, say, go this way, you are safe, but it's still a material mode. You're still in the world of illusion. So that is like whether you're tied in the dungeon by golden chain or by copper chain or by iron chain. What's the difference? You are bound. So this is three modes of material nature. Daiviye shaguna mahi mama mayadu ratyaya mameva ye prapatyante mayami tankti tarantite. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, this material nature is very, very difficult to overcome. And only if you take shelter of me, then you can overcome this stringent laws of material nature, which are so powerful that the entire universe is conducted by it. So you can imagine how amazing, how important this Vishuddha Sattva consciousness is different, because the Vishuddha Sattva consciousness, that is of the nature of being in harmony with the divine will of the Lord. It is already, you are in the spiritual world when you have Vishuddha Sattva consciousness. You can still act in this world, but you have no calculation. You don't want to do the things for yourself. You just want to do everything for the Lord. So, how do we find our place in this world? That is the question. What is our real place in this world? Actually, the answer is not difficult. But you have to make some adjustment to your life. You have to surrender to the sweet will of Krishna. It doesn't mean you have to live in a temple. Of course, it's wonderful to live in a temple, but it's also very, very demanding. You have to submit to a strong discipline and sadhana. But basically, you can say that you have to make serving Krishna your one and priority, the principal objective of your life. Whatever that means. That you have to adjust according to your time, place, and circumstance. But to be a devotee is a very wonderful thing, and it's always blissful. Because the devotee is always open to share his love with others. Always. A devotee is not ego. I, me, mine is not important to him. Even if he has to undergo hardship to serve others, a devotee will not mind. A devotee will not have any difficulty to undergo difficulties, pains, in order to save others from the world of illusion. That is a special thing about the devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that those who suffer to help others, they are very, very dear to me. So, my dear, you cannot imagine how important Lord Krishna's mercy is on us. How important. When he sees us that we want to surrender to him, then he will certainly come forward and help you. Ye yata mam papatyante tangs tataiva bhajamiham. Krishna says, as you surrender to me, I reward you accordingly. I will make it. So in the Eco-Trully Park, there is the different stages of surrender. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga, bhakti yoga. It's all explained. It's very nicely explained. When you study or when you visit the Yoga Planetarium, you will have the same experience of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, where the devotee is looking for the greatest devotee by going from one place to the other, because every devotee says, I'm not a devotee, you go to that devotee. Then he goes to the next devotee, he says, no, I'm also not a devotee, you go to next devotee. So in this way, they're sending him finally to the gopis of Vrindavan, who are the greatest of all the devotees, and they also say we are not devotees. So the nature of a real devotee is he's convinced that he's not a devotee. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Actually, Krishna consciousness is very beautiful. Very beautiful. The attitude of real devotees is really beautiful. They always want to help others. They do not want anything for themselves. That is their nature. And this is being taught by Krishna himself. Krishna himself is a devotee of Radharani. He himself is a devotee. And to please Radharani, he'll do anything. So, and Radharani, she's devotee of Krishna. In devotional life, everybody's competing in the surrender and service. In the material world, everybody's competing to go and get on my case. Leave me alone. Don't tell me what to do. Right? Everybody's like, I'm the boss. You have to do what I say because I own the company or whatever. I'm the teacher or I'm the sergeant and you are just a small soldier. So shut up and do what I say. So in the material world, it's always competing for the superiority. In the spiritual world, everything is competing for service. I want to serve you, I want to serve you, I want to serve you. So surrender to Krishna is being taught in the Yoga Planetarium by reaching to the lotus feet of the gopis of Krishna. Serving them is really, and our Guru Deva, he is a representative of the gopis of Vrindavan. By serving him, we are serving the gopis of Vrindavan. Even though he appears in a male form, but he is actually at heart a gopi in Vrindavan. So, therefore, when we serve him, we are serving Krishna in Vrindavan. And he told us, go to Vrindavan and do seva. But not only this is an expansion of Vrindavan. The temples are all Vrindavan. So Vrindavan, Vrindakunja is the representation of Vrindavan in Berlin. And any other temple is also a representative of Krishna. So can you imagine this? How beautiful. How beautiful it is. Krishna is always beautiful. Everything he does is wonderful. So my spiritual master, he has taught us, you make places where you can take shelter. You see, these are like 18 temples here. 18 different temples for different levels of consciousness. There's a temple of Kumbh Mela. There's a temple, in Kumbh Mela we have a big temple of Hanuman, lying down Hanuman. Then there's a temple of Lord Jagannath. Then there's a temple of Lord Indra. Then there's a temple of Lord Brahma. Then there's a temple of Lord Shiva. Then there's a temple of Lord Vishnu. Then there is a temple of Lord Rama. Then there's a temple of Dwarkanath. Then there's a temple of Mathuranath. Then there is a temple of Yogamaya, the supreme power who creates all the wonderful pastimes of Krishna in this world. Then there's the temple of Lord Chaitanya, Navadvip, opening the doors to Goloka Vrindavan. Then you go into the inner sanctum sectorum. These are the temples around, and then inner there's the 7 temples. There's the Shapta Devala. They're the 7 most important temples of Vrindavan, which are Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govindaji, Radha Gopinathaji, Radha Damodaraji, Radha Ramanaji. Then there is Radha Shamasundarji and Radha Gokulanandaji. They are the Shapta Devalas. So they are representing different types of devotional attitudes, like Radha Raman, our Gopal Bhatta Goswami is the great giver of the yagyas and explains everything. Each one of them specialized in a special way of his teachings. So in this way, Vrindavan is really a place of divine consciousness. And you can enter Vrindavan as a devotee by serving. Don't go to Vrindavan if you just want to do tourism. Then you go somewhere else. If you go to Vrindavan, go to study and to serve. That is a place for studying and service. Then you can stay there even for lengthy periods. But without service is not good. Because Vrindavan is also a place where you will find many tricks of Maya. Tricks of Maya everywhere. The Maya world is all over this. But inside the Maya world is hidden, in a hidden form, is the Krishna world, the Rama world. So in this way, the planetarium manifested, and we discovered that this old construction, this what you call conic shape, that is part of all the Indian temples. The pyramids, not really, they are more square, but otherwise everything going up has to follow a certain process. So we found in Italy, there's a whole city made of buildings in conic shapes. This is also in Africa. The conic shape, the people said this is a Christian conic church. Here, this is famous church in Barcelona, followed the same principle. What is the round conic church? Well, what does it represent? It represents the spiritual energy, the Sancto Sanctorum. In the yantras, you always have a circle in the middle. And that circle you also have in the chakana. So in this way, it's very, very interesting. Here you can see, this is a chakana. There are so many pictures here where you can see how the devotees have made this a real spiritual community with many, many buildings there. This is the building called Varshana, and there is another building called Shanket, so where the devotees and the visitors can stay. Big efforts have been made there. So if you have any chance to go there, you go to Peru and take darshan there, stay there a few days, do some volunteering in the garden, or stay there a year and be a devotee. That is even better. Here you can see the different arts. There's all the arts in the Eco-Trully Park, which are representing all the devotional qualities. Here's again a Chakana. Then there's Garuda. Then there is the the square of humility, and and then the Vaikunta ashram is a very, very interesting. But now I show you here from the inside. You can see what it looks like. The big dome. The big dome is 13 meters high, and you see all the glass which puts light inside there. Very, very beautiful. And then there inside that there's another trully we call them, or dome. That's where the deities are. Here's the altar. You can see it again. This is, and there's so many beautiful arts. The devotees have made this also a center of conscious art. Here you can see the architect climbing on top and doing all the beautiful things there. So this is actually, we are learning so much in the Eco Trully Park. You can hardly believe it. We are working with the solar energy for cooking, for making sweet water from the salt water with solar energies. We also have hot warm water, and it's just very, very interesting how many things one can do in ecological consciousness. Dry toilets. We have dry toilets there. People have to learn how to use a dry toilet. Before in Europe, everybody had a dry toilet, but the dry toilet means no contamination for the waters. Nowadays, we have this stool water running everywhere, people becoming sick and like that. And actually, the whatever comes out from the human body, it can be composted and then it can be utilized again to feed the land, no? But anyhow, these are old sciences. And the original people from these places, like the locals in South America, we have over 2,000 tribes, living tribes. They speak their own language, they have their own culture. Many of them have not mixed with white men. They're lucky. They have not mixed with the colonialistic people. And they all have many of different degrees of wisdom, especially how to protect Mother Nature, how to not pollute the rivers, how not to cut the trees unnecessarily, and. Well, there's a big jungle there, the Amazon jungles and all the, it's a world of its own. And if you have any chance to visit the temples in South America, as a matter of fact, I'm going on the pilgrimage in a few weeks to visit all the holy places, or not all the holy places. It'll take years to visit all the holy places of South America. But we are going around and taking the holy name of Krishna to every town and village and opening. The tour is part of the Srila Haridas Bhakti Bimala Harijan Swami Maharaj 500 Temples for Colombia project. So anyhow, this is a little bit, I wanted to explain this to you. I wanted to present this to you so you have an idea what we're doing in different parts of the world. Here we are also doing things. We also have some Ayurvedic treatments here. We have yoga here. We have counseling. Our Maharaj is giving counseling. We have deity worship here. We have the guardianship of our divine master here. We have the Shastras here, which we read every day. We have what else we have? We have Sadhu Sangha here. We have Ishtagosti here. What? We have Tulsi Devi here.
Sunday festival.
We have a big Sunday festival here. So by the grace of our Guru Deva, we also have lots of service here. We have a little garden there. We also have a workshop here. So whatever person has inclination, he can find some service for Krishna. So be part of the community. You're welcomed. If you cannot do anything, just give donation. That's also okay. Also, donation is welcome. No, if you for some reason you cannot go and clean and do pottery and things or anything like that. Anyhow, any questions? We are open for discussion. Now is the time. You say what you want to know more about this process.
When was this place built?
Oh, this was built in the years 87 to 97, like 10 years it took, more or less.
And
And it is now running. I mean, a place like this never stops. There's always more to do.
And how long have you been there living? How long have you?
Yeah, same time. Now this place was established 40 years back.
But when you were living there as well?
Yes.
And how many years? 10?
No, 50 years.
50 years?
Yes, 50 years of my life. My Guru Deva Prabhupada sent me to South America. And sometimes I came to Germany on my way to India. But practically my main service was there in South America.
And especially this place with the mud houses, or what's the name?
Yes, the mud houses.
This Lehm, yeah?
But we have many other temples also made with bamboo, many different materials, stones, we always use the local materials. Whatever local material is available, that is the best. Yes?
Is Varna Shram applied there?
Varna Ashrama means try to do your best. Everybody try to do his best according to his Varna and his ashram. Under the guidance of Guru Dev, Varna Ashrama is a natural thing. Just like many people, they get married. That's Varna Ashram. To get married is part of Varna Ashram. No? Brahmacharis, and they want to get married. What to do? Then they have to go through that experience of having children, bringing them up, but still they have to be good devotees. Otherwise, what kind of teachings are they giving to their children if they're not good devotees? More questions?
Maharaj, you said Maya rules the world, but and Krishna's world and Rama's world is deeper within this world. But
Actually, the subject of Maya is very complicated, and we are distinguishing here between Yoga Maya, the uniting force of the soul with God, and Mahamaya, the illusionary force of Maya, which keeps us away from God and entices us with so many different things in this world. But they are both parts of the same original Shakti. It's just like Krishna doesn't want us to go to him if we are still full of desires to enjoy without him. Then Krishna says, what do you want? You want to come to me, or you want to run around in this world after different objects? If we say, no, I want to be here, okay. And see until you're fed up. But there's karma. And because of that karma, then sometimes also people are fed up by the sufferings produced by their karmic reactions. What more? Come on. More questions. Move your minds. As you move your mind, you get more deeper into understanding. If you just think, oh, I hope the prasadam is coming.
Could I have a look at the book?
After.
From the South American people, how many percent they take to Krishna consciousness?
Taking to Krishna consciousness is a very, very, very high thing. So Those who have taken to Krishna consciousness, they think they have not taken yet to Krishna consciousness. And those who think that I am Krishna conscious, they are not yet very advanced in Krishna conscious. So it's very difficult to say how many really are Krishna conscious. I would say everybody who gives up meat eating for the sake of Krishna, he is already entering into Krishna consciousness. Now, what else they will do? Give up drugs also, give up illicit sex also, give up gambling also, start chanting Mahamantra also, start coming for Mangal Artik also, start studying the books and becoming scholars also. There's so many degrees of activities devotees have to do in order to become more advanced, so you can never know how many. That is also very much private in a way. But as I say, the journey is Harijan Maharaj, 500 temples for Colombia. That was the desire by one pure devotee of Colombia. So he told us, go and accomplish this. And we are far away from 500 still, but we are going that way. So everybody who has a temple, he should be, and also our Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the great guru there, he said, I want to construct a temple of Krishna in everybody's heart. What more?
If someone is
Speak a little louder.
if someone is trying to practice brahmacharya and he's also involved in material work, what is the best way to balance it and involve brahmacharya into the work as well?
You see, brahmachari is very beautiful because you have so much freedom. But generally, after 25 years, time for marriage comes. Only those who have have an inner calling for total dedication, they may be allowed not to get married and to pursue directly intense service paths. But generally, young men will get married and have children and make a grihasta life, which is also a devotional marriage life. And there's no difference. You can go back to home, back to Godhead as a brahmachari or as a grihasta. And when the children are big, then you should become a vanaprastha and a sannyasi. Again, relinquishing this comfort zone of, I have everything, everybody looks. No, not depending on Krishna, but only depending on your money and your control. It's a very great accomplishment to renounce everything and dedicate your life to Krishna. What more?
What do they plant there? No.
What we plant in that community,
Yeah.
many fruits, very good land, many bananas, mangoes, avocados, maracuja. It has become very fertile, and also we plant lots of strawberries and quinoa and quincha, South American, but also anything you can imagine.
Grains?
Grains and big fields, not. Because our fields are not that big. Wheat and things like that, no.
And how many devotees are living there at the moment?
Yes, on and off, you can say between 30 and 50.
And how many Because you said it's a replica of Vrindavan, but maybe many of these devotees didn't go there even to Vrindavan. They just listened to your instructions and built this.
And also many went to Vrindavan. The Peruvian people have been very nice of investigating how to do this thing very beautifully. No more? Come on. Last questions? Sisi Guru Kuranga, Kandarvika Govinda Sundaram ki jai.